on to the explanation. And after I get the bad news out of the way, I want to bring the good news. Okay, so in North Carolina, uh, there was a girl who lived in Raleigh who messaged me because, I'm on top of the Nouveau Cheap and I'm on top of the Wet and Wild. And, I would say what collections are out. And then when I find the collections, um, I put them out on YouTube. So this girl who lived in Raleigh messaged me back in 2011, June, when the Dreamweavers collection came out. And, she was excited because, well, she was looking for it. And when she found out that I had gotten it, she had messaged me on YouTube. She said, here's my number, call me. I don't know why I couldn't just message her, but that's how she liked to do things. So, I called her and I told her exactly where I found it. And she was like so happy and so excited. So later that year, this is what she wrote to me. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. I don't know what I'm going to do when you move to Texas. I hope all is well and thanks so much for telling me. Because the thing was, because being the nice person that I am, anytime I found a collection, I would, email her, message her on YouTube right away and let her know, you better go get it before it's gone. We actually met, even me and that other girl actually met. This is why I thought that, but anyway, so that's why she sent me this message that you're so sweet. I don't know what you're going to do, blah, blah. Okay, so this was back in 2011. 2012, we would communicate, like I said, whenever I found something. So in January, when Black Radiance came out with their 8-pan collection, she had spotted them near the hospital because I believe she lives there, lives in that neighborhood. And no, she messages me and she really wanted it. She said, please, if you find it, let me know. So, she said, and if I find it first, I'll let you know. Well, she found them first. And I had just been at the hospital and I guess I was really tired and I didn't check the Walgreens. And she messages me later that night that they were at the Walgreens and she picked up a set. So this is what she says to me. If you're not able to make it there today, let me know if you want and I will pick them up for you and you can pay me. Because one of the other, there were 2 Walgreens on that avenue and she said the other one was sold out already. She said, they're going to go fast and I'll pick it up and you just pay me. So I told her, I decided not to get them. So, I told her that if they're permanent, I'm sure that my Walgreens will eventually carry it. I said, maybe next time I go to the clinic, because that Walgreens carries Black Radiance too. But I said, thank you so much for being so kind and, and thinking of me. So this was in January of 2012. Moving forward, somewhere along 2012, she says, how are you? So this must have been maybe a couple of months later. How are you? Did your birthday pass? You are the best and you are the sweetest. Thank you so much for telling me. I don't know if I would find half the collections if it wasn't for you. So, with that being said, and her offering to get me the Black Radiance palettes, which I found by the clinic in January. With that being said, I was getting anxious because like I said, I've been calling a different Walgreens every day. Been checking Nouveau Cheap and my Bed Bath & Beyond Harmons didn't have the spring palette. Calling the Walgreens, calling my CVS's, because now I have the 2 CVS's near me, sell Wet and Wild, but like only certain CVS's sell Wet and Wild. So, I was calling every day a different place and nothing. So I started getting anxious and which was my fault. That I take that part of the responsibility. I got anxious, and so because she had offered before, I figured, okay, maybe she'd be willing to do this. I found out that in North Carolina, my old faithful Kurz that I used to go to all the time, they had them. So now I'm really jumping out of my skin. I'm like, I never missed North Carolina until that moment. So I'm like, I said, hey girl, a Kurz just got in the spring palettes. The display says spring forward, a nude awakening going in the wild. Do you have a PayPal account? Because if you're willing, I would pay you via PayPal. And of course, the shipping. So she got excited like she did the last time. And she said, please call me. I was trying to email her, but so I did. She said, I went to one and I didn't find it. Please tell me which Kurz you're talking about. So, so I said, well, the one that I saw on Nouveau Cheap was Chapel Hill, which is far. And I was like, don't go out of your way. I said, but I'll check, the Kurz that I used to frequent. And I'll email you back. She says, well, I definitely won't be driving to Chapel Hill. But I am driving around now. So I figured, okay, let me call her. And at this point, she found, I don't know how she found, I guess she was just driving around and found a Kurz. And she was just really, really excited. Oh, I didn't even know this Kurz existed. She was like really excited. And I said, oh, so did you get a set for me? And she kind of like hesitated and said, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. So is $20 enough? Because, the pallet is going to be 10 plus tax. It will be like 11. Priority mail comes with tracking now. So it's like 6 something. And I said, I'll add to, I said, I'll give you 20 because I want you to mail it out priority insured. Because the week before or last month, I sent my daughter a package and I didn't insure because I didn't have a receipt for it and they lost it. And I usually insure when I send her something. So I said, please, so priority insured. So I asked if she had a box. So now that adds up to 11 and 6 and so whatever. I thought it was $5 for priority and then $2 for. So I figured, it was like $1 or $2 left over. And I was like, do you have a box? And she's like, oh, yeah. Don't worry. $20 is enough. I'll package it well. So we left it at that. So I emailed her my info, my email address, my PayPal info. And I wrote on there, priority insured. I said, priority now gives you a tracking number. So that's cool. So I explained to her about what happened with the scarf. And when I paid her via PayPal, I put the instructions, priority insured. So now she asks me, so she gives me, so now after this is all said and done, she emails me and tells me, I'm in the process of moving. I was hoping to get out today, but I probably won't till Monday. She says, but doesn't priority insure it automatically? And I said, no, you have to request it. So I told her that because I was like in a rush to get out the door. I told her that I would, do the PayPal in the evening. So I kind of got the feeling that maybe she didn't buy it for me. Maybe she was just like all excited for herself. And maybe she was waiting for that PayPal payment before she bought it for me. And and that would be fine, if that's what she did, I understand. But I don't know, I kind of got that feeling. So just to assure her, let's just say, she did buy the pallet. Just to assure her that I wasn't trying to stick her. I wrote this to her before I left the house. I said, I'm getting ready to run out the door. I will pay you tonight. But I forgot to ask her. So I said, I just want to make sure you got the nude. It's the Nude Awakening and the Going in the Wild, right? Because, like, we didn't even discuss the names of the pallets, you know, and I mean, mistakes could happen. So, that's all I asked her. So she responded when I got back that evening from my brother's house. She responded, I know what the pallets look like, and I put like a little smile, but I kind of got a feeling something wasn't right. So I said, well, okay, well, I just sent you the money. Just, please, email me, the tracking number. So I don't know. I think this was a Saturday. I don't know. Again, if maybe she didn't buy the pouch and then she had to go out Sunday to get them once she got the money. And then she said, well, I'll be going to the post office in the morning. So I said, all right, thank you so much. Can you mail? This was my mistake. I wrote MAIL. Mail me a copy of the receipt because, even if you insure it, if I don't have the copy of the receipt, they're not going to give me my money back. And then I emailed her. I said, corrected myself. I said, oh, I meant email me. I said, your computer takes pictures, right? Okay. So, that was Sunday. I left it alone. I figured, I said it wrong, so all I did was write her again to correct what I meant. This is the response that I got Monday morning, and this was last Monday. I was really shaken up by this because she was so nice to me. I thought, wow, I got a friend that'll help me out. And, and again, I'm paying for, everything. I don't see this. This is so, this just really shook me. So this is what she responds to me. I don't sit at my computer all day. I have a life outside of YouTube and makeup. Then she writes me again. If you're so paranoid, maybe you should stop ordering things from online and stop asking people to buy things for you. But no worry, because this will be the first and last time. So, as if that wasn't enough, she writes me back. I really don't appreciate being bombarded, especially when I went out of my way doing something for you. So I'm thinking, out of her way. She bought the pallets for herself. That's when I said, what's she talking about? So she says, I've been moving all weekend. I'm exhausted. I used up all my time and my energy and my gas and went out of my way to try to be nice to you. I'm not wanting to hurt you. I don't need anything. So there's no reason. I don't need anything from you. So there's no reason why I would cheat you, steal from you, deceive you, or scam you. Now, then she says, and here's your tracking number because I mailed it just as capital letters as I said I would. So I was like, where in any of this writing did that come into her brain? I never accused her of trying to, I explained to her about the scarf. I don't even know where that came from. So I was like, oh crap, what the heck? So that really messed me up, and I was a mess probably for about the whole weekend. Now I'm thinking something's wrong, and I checked the tracking number she gave me. Thank God it pulled up, and because she was so angry, I'm like, what if she, because how some people get spiteful, what if now she is trying to, but no, it was being mailed to me. I said, okay, well, that's when I told you on Sunday. I still had to wait to get that package. I had to wait to see if it got lost because she did not email me a copy of the receipt or anything. So, I emailed her back apologizing. I said, girl, I'm sorry if I came off as not trusting you. That was not my intention. This has to do with the post office being irresponsible. I'm sorry for bothering you. I won't ask you anything again. I just really would like that copy of that receipt in case they lose my package. If I didn't trust you, I wouldn't have asked you in the first place. So again, I apologize for bothering you. You know, if it was too much, you should have said something. And I wouldn't have asked you, you know. Because if she would have told me she was moving from the beginning, I would have said, you know, this is going to be too much for you, you know. So I was like, you know, thank you again for doing this, and I hope that your move goes well. And again, I apologize. The package was supposed to arrive here on Wednesday. It had, according to the tracking number, it hadn't budged from North Carolina. So I called the post office and said, oh, well, you know, that's not a guarantee. It could take 3 days. I said, okay. So the next day it hadn't budged. This was Thursday. I called them again. And they said, oh, well, you know, if you don't get it by tomorrow, then we'll put a tracer on it. Friday, still had not budged. I was like, crap. I just wanted this to be over. I was like an emotional wreck because now I am involved with this girl until this transaction is completed. So I was like, so I wrote her again. I said, look, I really hate to bother you, but I really need those copies. I need one from Kurtz for the shadows and one from the post office. Because I need proof that it was insured. I never received my package. It was supposed to be here on Wednesday, and the post office doesn't know where it is. Friday they put a tracer on. They said they were going to start a tracer on it. So I wrote again, please email me the copies. And, you know, I gave her my email address. Since she was so concerned about gas, I wrote, you know, I did pay you $21. I paid her $1 for the PayPal fees. So $11 for the shadow, $5 for priority, $2 for insurance, the PayPal fee, and if she was so concerned with gas, I figured the other $2 is fine just to go to the post office and come back. I said, thank you again, and I apologize for bothering you. So, I never received an email with the copies of those receipts. And I had a feeling that the reason why she was being so angry at me and the way she wrote that message to me, oh, if you wanted to, you know, I went out of my way, if you wanted to this, that, and other thing, blah, 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 is that she might not have insured that. I asked the post office, was this insured? And they said it doesn't show that it was insured. So this was her response. Well, if you want to get detailed about the money, $2 doesn't pay for gas. Gas is $3.50 a gallon. She says she said she had a box already. So, or she said, don't worry, I'll package it well. I took that to mean that she had a box. I used my box. I used my bubble wrap, and it was $6.20 for the shipping, and it was $10.65 for the pallets. But I'll get in touch with you after I go to the post office and get a copy of that receipt. I was like, what? Why does she need to go out of her way to go to the post office and get a copy of the receipt? They give you a receipt that day. They're not just going to print it out again. You know, I know that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. So finally, I was like, look, I asked you if $20 was enough when we spoke on the phone, and you said yes. I wish there was a way to record phone calls. And I prefer emails because it's proof of things. I even added that extra $1 for the fee that I knew PayPal was going to charge you. If you had an issue, you should have just told me from the beginning. You know, I just don't understand why you're so angry. This woman, you could tell she was just so angry in the way that she was responding to me. And I said, you didn't tell me you were moving until after you already bought me the shadows, assuming she was being honest. You didn't tell me, okay, I merely asked for a receipt because I was afraid, and you took it to me and I didn't trust you. The post office issued you a receipt. They're not going to issue you another. I don't understand why you can't just email me a copy from your computer. I said, you just should have told me you were moving from the beginning, and we could have both avoided these headaches. So she writes me back and says, well, at first I didn't mind doing all of this, even though I was in the middle of a move. It went from a nice, friendly gesture to 20 questions and a third degree. I asked her one question, and I instructed her to insure. Where does the third degree come from that? I don't understand. I really don't understand what's going on in this girl's brain. She said, yeah, what a headache. And now even more of a headache because all of your mail supposedly disappears. Your scarf. You never seem to receive anything. I'll send you a copy of the receipts. So that's how she ended it. And I was like, okay, checking my email. Nothing, nothing, nothing. And then she calls me. I saw that 919 number. I knew that it was going to be from North Carolina. I was like, I really don't want to take this call. I just wish she would just email me so we could have proof of everything that was said. So she admits that she didn't insure, and her reasoning was that she didn't ask to insure till after the receipt was printed, and that she told the lady, "Oh, I need to insure," and that the postal woman said, "Oh, you don't need to insure." So she says that since she went out of her way for me and spent her gas, and she admitted that she had to go to the post office that day anyway. She says that she actually physically mailed me a copy of the receipts. If that gets lost in the mail, what good does that do me? So she said that she takes the responsibility for not insuring and that she'll give me half the money back because she felt that she deserved the other half because she did pay for the shipping and she did put out, go out of her way and for all her troubles, that she deserved to keep half. I wasn't going to argue with her because sometimes you got to pick and choose your battles. Sometimes you got to let go of the battle to actually win the actual war. So, during the conversation, she was getting angrier and angrier. So I said, "You mailed it. I figured you would just make a copy from your computer and just email it to me. I mean, that's not going out of your way." This is the way she would respond to me half the time we talk. "How is that not going out of my way?" I was like, oh my goodness. So I said to her, I did ask you to insure. I mean, it was on the PayPal. It was on the email. I told you why. I told you because she told me not to. Like, that's an excuse, but okay. So, I said, well, if you could just, make sure that when you do the refund that you do it as a refund. I said I was going to do it, didn't I? You think I'm going to try to steal from you? At this point, I'm still trying to keep under control. I said, look, again, I didn't want to argue with her. I said, why are you so angry? I said, can you tell me where in my emails that I made you feel like I never trusted you and that I was giving you 20 questions and a third degree? I said, can you please tell me where? Well, look through the emails. Computers right in front of me. Okay, here's the emails. Let me see. So I went through the emails for her and I said, so where is the 20 questions? I only asked you one question and I made a mistake and I tried to correct it. Instead of mailing it to me, I wanted you to email it to me. It's becoming very obvious that this woman doesn't doesn't follow instructions because it was in the PayPal receipt, in the PayPal invoice where it says to leave a message to the merchant. It was in the emails. It's obvious she doesn't like to follow instructions. And also she definitely has anger management problems and you can't talk to her, period. There was just no reasoning with her, and I wasn't going to try and reason with her. I just, I was like, why? But at this point, she's accusing me. I went through all the emails and she says, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to go through the emails myself. Like, we have two different emails. I don't understand. I'm reading to her exactly what was spoken back and forth. And, then there was the awkward silence. And I Didn't know. I just wanted to end it positively by saying, like a normal person would say, all right, well, if you could just do what you said, I'd appreciate it, and, you never have to talk to me again. She flipped out on me again. I said I would! I said I would! I said I would! During that conversation, made it clear she wanted nothing to do with me, and for me to never talk to her again like I would want to. So, as she's screaming this in my ear, she hangs up on me. And I was a mess. 5 hours later, still, I saw no refund. The package finally, I come home and I have a note from the office that I have mail at the office, and there it was. I checked this morning. According to the post office, that package is still in North Carolina. I could have been dishonest. I could have fought her through PayPal, and because I left clear instructions and she didn't follow them, I would have won. I could have been dishonest, but the truth is, I'm not a dishonest person, and I don't want anything to do with this woman ever again in my life. And so I just emailed her back and said, package arrived, so you don't have to give me the refund. Sorry I had to end this way. Hope you have a good life.